So he's doing. He doesn't want. I don't think he wants to laser too much because then Zosa.
I think that's gonna be it.
Yeah.
Let's go, Tyler. Shoutouts to Linka.
Hello everyone! Today I'm reacting to another Wham Bam Teslacam video, and this one is titled Tesla Launches on Green, Then Gets Blamed. Of course. But anyway, let's not waste any time as I'm going to be busy later, so let's get this over with. In 3, 2, 1!
Police pursuits, head-on hits, and tons more is coming up on today's episode of
Wham, bam, Teslacam. I hope you're satisfied.
Surrey's traffic light had just turned green when she accelerated to cross the intersection.
Oh no.
And right into an SUV whose driver had failed to yield, resulting in a head-on collision. The impact totaled Surrey's Model 3 while the SUV's side airbag deployed, but not on the driver's side. When police investigated the collision, they determined the SUV driver was 70% responsible. But Surrey bore some responsibility since she could have hit the brakes but chose not to. What do you think? Did Surrey have enough time to react after realizing the SUV driver wasn't just pulling forward, but was actually turning across her path?
Let me tell you one thing right now. I don't know.
Considering the high gas prices, Jacob was letting his roommate borrow his Tesla to go to a medical appointment. He had no idea that the Model 3 would never make it back.
Oh my god, that's another one.
When Jacob's roommate was on his way back, a Jeep driver exiting a driveway failed to yield before the two vehicles collided head-on. While both vehicles had to be towed away and are probably totaled, nobody involved in the collision was seriously injured.
Poor Tesla.
When Dan purchased his Model Y, he discovered this footage already saved on the Teslacam 5.
Oh my god! That's 3 videos of head-on collisions in a row. This is insane.
A Honda driver came around a corner way too fast, lost control, and slammed into the Tesla head-on. The high-speed impact disabled both vehicles, but since then, Dan has brought the Model Y back to life. He expects to spend around $7,000 fixing all the damage himself. This subscriber was headed out of a gas station in his Model S Plaid when he watched the predictable result of a van failing to yield to cross traffic. After the van started across the road, another van that had been concealed behind a semi-truck waiting to turn emerged and slammed into the side of the first van.
That's predictable.
Our subscriber disengaged full self-driving, then stopped and made sure everyone was okay before continuing. Pup was driving his Model 3 when full self-driving activated the right turn signal in preparation for a right turn at the intersection ahead. Without warning, an SUV driver pulled out of a parking lot exit and smashed into Pup's Tesla.
Here's that Toyota.
He told us FSD tried to avoid the collision, and the video overlay proves he also disengaged by slamming on the brakes himself, but there was no time to react. His Model 3 is now waiting for parts at the body shop, and repairs are expected to cost about $11,000. Thankfully, the SUV driver's insurance provider is covering everything, including a rental car. Sadly, the rental they gave him is a combustion vehicle, so he's stuck paying $6 a gallon for gas instead of charging up with electricity he gets at home, included in his rent for free. He thinks he should ask the insurance company to pay for his gas since he only has to buy it because of this collision. What do you think his chances are? Jake had just left work at 7:03 a.m. and was on his way home to study for his final exams, but watch what happened at 7:05.
Oh no.
As Jake drove manually down a left turn lane, a pickup driver turned through a gap in traffic and T-boned his Model 3, the day after he and his mother had booked and paid for a cruise. Jake
Wow. What a horrible day for him.
got out and made sure the other driver was okay. He said he was fine, but that his truck wasn't. When Jake went back to his Tesla to get his phone, he suddenly heard tires screeching as the pickup driver sped away.
Listen, new drivers around the world, don't ever drive away if you are involved in a collision. Some drivers have issues.
Sadly, his Tesla had powered down, so it didn't capture footage of the pickup driver fleeing the scene. But when Jake picked up the guy's license plate and waved it in the air, he immediately turned around and came back. He told Jake he'd been looking for a place to turn around, but Jake said he'd traveled half a mile before returning to the scene. He told responding police the same excuse. When cops saw that Jake was driving a Tesla, they asked to see his Teslacam footage. After watching it, they cited the pickup driver for causing the collision. Sadly, the impact also destroyed Jake's laptop, which he needed for his final exams. He bought a replacement one day before his exams and still managed to get straight A's. Good work, Jake. Luke was on his way home from work when a driver ahead forced traffic to stop for a pickup waiting to leave a parking lot.
What happens? Of course.
Luke knew right away this situation wouldn't end well, and his fears were confirmed when a Honda driver drove past him in the other lane. Both drivers slammed on their brakes just in time, somehow narrowly avoiding any collision. Hopefully this will teach that other driver to close the gap so these situations can't happen in the first place. Tony was driving his Model Y when traffic ahead of him abruptly slowed down, and he had to slam on the brakes with no way to avoid getting rear-ended by a merging Nissan. Both drivers pulled over to the shoulder after the collision, but they chose not to notify the police. In the end, the Nissan driver's insurance provider paid $24,000 to fix Tony's Tesla, which took 6 weeks. They also paid him an additional $6,000 in cash for the diminished value of his Model Y. Raider was driving with his wife and kids when a pickup driver started passing him on the left before immediately forgetting the Tesla was there and sideswiping it.
Forgetting that Tesla was there? More like he didn't even notice until it was too late.
Both drivers pulled over after the collision. Raider
He does not commit hit and run.
Said the pickup driver was very apologetic as they exchanged insurance information. Thankfully, his insurance provider paid the nearly $10,000 repair bill to fix Raider's Model 3. Aniket was on his way to a restaurant with a friend when he arrived at an intersection where he had a stop sign, but cross traffic did not. He told us his view to the left was obstructed by a tree and a pole, but he chose to start across the intersection in spite of the fact that he couldn't see if any traffic was coming. After a Hyundai T-boned his Model Y, Aniket was found responsible for causing the collision, a finding
what
he
was he
didn't
thinking?
challenge. The initial repair estimate was $14,000 US, but when a body shop did their own inspection, it increased to $37,000.
Wow, they
At that
totaled
point,
it.
the insurance company totaled the Tesla. He replaced it with a Honda Accord, and less than a month later, it
Oh my god, it's weird. Oh no.
was
Yeah, I'll keep an
rear-ended.
eye out
We'll post
for
that
it.
footage over on the Wham Bam Dashcam channel, so be sure to keep an eye out for it. Cosmo's wife Leslie is a home health nurse who was on her way from one patient to another when a
Oh.
Honda driver made an illegal U-turn across her Tesla's path. Thankfully, Leslie was able to swerve right and brake to avoid a collision. The Honda driver gave her a quick wave at the next traffic light, as if to say, "Thanks so much for compensating for my inability to drive. You're the best." Anand was on his way home with his wife when the driver of the minivan ahead of him in the passing lane suddenly slammed on the brakes.
Oh shit.
Anand made an evasive maneuver, coming within inches of sideswiping a passing
Double close
SUV.
call.
That's what we call a double close call.
Yeah, too close
Remember
calls in
Cualidad
one.
from a couple of episodes ago? After his Model Y
Oh.
performance was wrecked, he
Let me guess. His side truck gets damaged next.
replaced it with a Cybertruck. Check out what happened when two guys in a combustion
Oh.
pickup pulled up next to him and wanted to race.
No. No, discard what I said. Disregard it.
After demonstrating his truck's electric acceleration, the two guys made friendly gestures as he let them pass. But
Friendly
evidently this little
gestures?
drag race had triggered someone.
Oh no. Another truck driver?
An Escalade driver sped past them both as he clearly proved
Look at
his
that!
gas-guzzling SUV is faster than two pickup drivers who
That Escalade driver's got balls!
are driving completely normally and not trying to race at all. Good for you, dude. If you don't remember the collision involving Callion's Model Y, we'll link to it at the end of this video. We'll also link to the Wham Bam Dashcam episode when his wife's SUV was turned into an Acura sandwich.
Okay.
Adrian and Seth were on their way to play mini golf when a white car suddenly flew past them at high speed. After the driver got stuck behind other traffic, Adrian began catching up to them. But then, a state trooper in the passing lane slowed down and got behind the speeder before turning on the party lights. Adrian and Seth just kept going, enjoying the instant justice. Adrian said he's been subscribed for 5 years now and watched almost every episode of Wham Bam Teslacam. Wait, almost? Why not all of them?
I haven't watched every Wham Bam Teslacam video either. But obviously, I've watched a lot of them.
Adrian? This subscriber was driving one rainy day in Michigan when he was waiting in traffic at a busy intersection. Watch what happened when the driver of a Dodge Charger tried to beat a yellow light.
Yeah, I know what's gonna happen.
When the Charger driver gave it too much gas on the wet road, he spun out and started to go off the road. Thankfully, the car didn't hit the guardrail and there were no pedestrians on the sidewalk. Once the driver got turned back around, they were able to continue on their way with nothing damaged but their own pride. Mr. Hung was riding in his Model 3 when full self-driving got in the left lane in preparation for an upcoming turn. When traffic ahead slowed nearly to a stop, FSD followed suit. When the driver ahead of him moved over, the cause of the slowdown was revealed. A man was riding some kind of old scooter the wrong way. FSD carefully went around the scooter, and we can only hope that other drivers did the same. Riding along into oncoming traffic like that cannot be safe.
It's not.
Tolga was heading
Like,
home
who
in her
does
Cybertruck
that?
after dropping off her daughter at school one morning when she noticed a sheriff's deputy's SUV pulled over up ahead. At first, she thought there was some kind of speed trap, but as she passed, she realized the deputy was actually keeping a watchful eye on a large alligator that was just feet away from the road. This might be the most Florida of all Florida videos we've seen on Wham Bam
Okay.
Teslacam.
Yeah. Okay.
Riley was riding in her Model Y with full self-driving engaged when a motorcycle flew past her in the oncoming lane. FSD automatically pulled to the right side of the lane to give the biker as much room to pass as possible. Justice was swift as a police SUV sped by Riley just as fast, party lights active. Riley told us the biker was pulled over for some instant justice.
I knew that was coming.
Luke was driving home from work when a motorcycle blew through a red light at the intersection ahead, but multiple police vehicles were in hot pursuit.
Another
The first
one?
one, an SUV, stopped to block traffic, but was nearly rear-ended by a police car right behind it. Both vehicles then sped after the biker. Thankfully, there were no collisions, and Luke told us he saw another cop car with party lights active blaze past him on the way to join the pursuit.
Okay. Oh.
This subscriber's Tesla was parked on the streets of New York City when the driver of a Mini Cooper attempted to parallel park right in front of it before backing into it instead. The impact was strong enough to leave a noticeable dent in the Model Y's front bumper cover.
You're driving away? What a coward. What
And
a
activate the
wuss.
hazard lights, prompting the Mini driver to speed away. Our
Yo.
subscriber told us
Yeah, what a fucking wuss.
even though his Teslacam clearly captured the hit-and-run driver's license plate, there wasn't much he could do. He didn't tell us if he contacted the
What?
police for help.
There wasn't much he could do?
Don't forget to
Why?
watch the time Callion's Model 3 Performance was wrecked, or the time
Whatever. If you like this video, you can like, comment, share, and subscribe to me, and also subscribe to Wham Bam Teslacam and watch more of their videos. And that's all to say, really, so see ya next time.